The Tale of Two Paths. Imagine two friends, Alex and Ben. They are the same age, they save the exact same amount of money, and they invest in the same market cycle. Both start their journey with $100,000 in hand, but this is where their paths quietly diverge. Alex is a dividend investor. He chooses companies that pay him regular cash every month or quarter. He wants his portfolio to act like an employer, paying him a steady salary he can see and touch. Ben, on the other hand, is a growth investor. He picks companies that don't pay a single cent in dividends. Instead, these companies take every dollar they earn and plow it back into innovation and expansion. 20 years pass. Alex looks at his account and smiles at the long history of cash deposits. Ben sees zero deposits, just a much larger singular number on his screen. Both are convinced they've chosen the smart strategy, but one of them has unknowingly fallen for a psychological trap. The illusion of free money. Now Alex feels like a winner. Every time his phone buzzes with a notification of a new deposit, he feels richer. To him, these dividends feel like a bonus, a gift from the market on top of his investment. But Ben steps in with a reality check. Alex, he says, mathematics does not accept gifts. Here is the uncomfortable truth that Wall Street often hides. When a company pays you a $4 dividend, that money has to come from somewhere. It comes directly out of the company's vault. The moment that cash leaves the company, the total value of the company drops by that exact same amount. Think about it this way. If your stock is worth $100 and it pays a $4 dividend, you don't end up with $104. You end up with a $96 stock and $4 in cash. Your net worth is still exactly $100. You've simply taken money out of your left pocket and moved it to your right pocket. You aren't getting richer, you're just liquidating your own assets piece by piece. The taxman and the compounding killer. While Alex is busy moving money between his pockets, someone is standing in the middle of the road waiting for their cut, the taxman. This is where the math starts to hurt. Every time Alex's companies declare a dividend, a tax obligation is created, whether he needs the cash or not. If Alex is in a 20% tax bracket, that $4 dividend is instantly hit with an 80-cent tax bill. He's only left with $3.20 to reinvest. This is what professionals call tax drag. By forcing a payout, Alex is unintentionally giving up the eighth wonder of the world, uninterrupted compounding. Meanwhile, Ben is playing a different game. Because his stocks don't pay dividends, his gains remain unrealized. The government can't touch a single penny yet. 100% of Ben's money stays inside the investment, compounding at full power year after year. 20 years later, that 80-cent difference isn't just pocket change anymore. It has snowballed into a massive gap in total wealth. Ben's snowball is a giant, while Alex's has been slowly melting under the sun of annual taxation. The power of control. One day, both friends decide they finally need some cash to enjoy their hard work. Alex, the dividend investor, just waits. He's like an employee waiting for a paycheck. If his companies decide to pay out $30,000 this year, that's what he gets. If they decide to cut the dividend to save cash during a rough year, Alex is stuck. He has zero control over his own income. Ben, the growth investor, acts like the owner. His portfolio is now worth $1.5 million. He doesn't wait for a paycheck. Instead, he looks at his needs and decides to sell exactly $30,000 worth of shares. Here's the genius of Ben's move. Number 1, precision. He sells only what he needs, no more, no less. Number 2, efficiency. He only pays taxes on the gain of the shares he sold, not the entire amount, and certainly not on the rest of his portfolio, which is still growing tax-free. Number 3, timing. If he doesn't need money one year, he sells nothing and pays zero taxes. Ben has optionality, while Alex is forced to take withdrawals from his capital every time a dividend is paid, regardless of the market price or his personal needs. Ben chooses his own moments. The price of peace of mind. If the math favors Ben and his growth stocks so clearly, why do millions of investors still side with Alex? Because humans are not spreadsheets. The stock market is a roller coaster. When the market crashes by 30%, Ben has to watch his total net worth plummet. If he needs to sell shares to pay his bills during that winter, he is forced to sell at the worst possible time. This is the sequence of returns risk, the danger of being forced to sell your seeds before they can grow into trees. Alex, however, feels a strange sense of calm. Even when his stock prices are falling, his dividend checks usually keep arriving. He sees the income as a psychological anchor. He tells himself, the price is down, but my paycheck is still coming in. This comfort isn't free. He's paying for emotional insurance through higher taxes and lower compounding. He is willing to accept less wealth in exchange for the discipline to stay in the market. The final verdict. Real income isn't just cash flow, it's controlled access to capital. Choose Alex's path if you want automation, simplicity, and the emotional stability to sleep at night, and you're okay with the tax cost. Choose Ben's path if you have the discipline of an owner, want maximum tax efficiency, and have the stomach to handle the volatility. At the end of the day, the market doesn't care how you get your 10% return. The question is, who is in control, you or the company?